What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Bakali. So today's video is going to go over the cost of ownership on the C63s Coupe. This is a 2018. It has 50,000 miles, which I did a review. You can check on the left or right. There's going to be a card you can pop out. Watch the 50,000 mile review. I talk about in depth how it is to own this car and everything else that goes with it, daily driving it to get it to 50,000 miles, because it is a 2018. So I've owned it for 2 years, and I've gone into Excel, did the financial analysis, did the quick maths, and figured out what is the actual cost of owning this car for 2 years at 50,000 miles. Unfortunately, I wish I didn't, because I hate seeing the number that comes out in total of how much I've had to pay to own this car, but it's informative, it's good for you, it's good for anyone who wants to buy this car, who owns this car, wants to know what it's like to own it and the costs associated with it. So let's get started with the video. I think the first thing to go over is the warranties that I chose with the car. So when I first purchased the car, and when you actually go buy a brand new Mercedes, you're offered a bunch of warranties up front before you actually fully sign for the car. These warranties you cannot purchase after you sign the car. So unfortunately, I don't think you can get these warranties with a used C63s. You have to be buying a brand new one. And I went with the wheel and tire package because it has the road hazard protection. So it's about I think it's like a $2,000 warranty to protect against any tire damage from road hazards or any wheel damage from road hazards. And to me, that was a no-brainer because the wheels are actually very expensive for this car. These are the forged aluminum ones for the AMG. It's like a Y spoke. You can see the Y stands for ya boy. And also the center caps are very expensive, which I explained in my other video, is that the center caps alone are 500 bucks. And then the actual wheels, the center cap and tire pressure monitoring system, you have to put down 1,600 bucks per rim. This is a $2,500 warranty. I've already actually cracked my rim, and that would have been a $1,600 cost I would have had to sunk into the car alone. 1,600 bucks is not cheap. And I've actually replaced the tires 3 times already, and the per tire cost for these Michelin Pilot Super Sports, so they're not actually on the car. These are the Nokian Hakkapeliitta studded tires I have for winter. But for summer, I run the Michelin Pilot Super Sports, and per tire, it costs about, for the front, 260 bucks, and the rear 350. So I had 2 fronts replaced, and I had 1 rear replaced. So let's do the math. 260 times 2, that's 520, plus the rear, which is 350. So that's $870 in total in tires, plus the 1,600 bucks to replace the rim. That's pretty much even on what I paid for the warranty. So really it pays for itself, because I guarantee you I'll probably have another cracked rim, or I'll have another punctured tire anytime soon, knowing my luck. So really, if you're buying a brand new AMG, make sure you buy that warranty, the rim and tire protection hazard. It's right before you purchase the car, and sign it off. It's like $2,000 to $2,500. I don't know exactly, but that's how much I paid in that range, and it definitely pays for itself. Now, the other warranty that I bought recently was the extended warranty, and that was about another $2,000. Because this car has 50,000 miles, it already breached the warranty period that comes on the factory, which is a 4-year, 50,000 miles. I've obviously owned this only for 2 years, so I'm good on the 4 years, but I passed the 50,000 miles, so that warranty is over. I bought extended warranty because, as I stated before in my other videos, is I've had issues with the suspension breaking in the rear. I think it's like been 3 times already. It's a very expensive fix, so I don't want to own this car out of warranty and have to pay that cost, and then any other engine issues that might come with an AMG with the hot V setup after 50,000 miles. I think it was smart to get the extended warranty. Definitely worth the money. It's about, I think it's a 3-year and 12 or 15,000 mile extra warranty. By the time I replace this car, I probably won't hit another 15,000 miles, so that warranty will be good enough for me. So those 2 warranties, the extended warranty about $2,000, $2,500 bucks, and then the extended warranty about $2 grand, $4,500 total. $4,500 total in warranty costs for this car. So let's start discussing the wear and tear items and how much it's cost so far. So with the wear and tear items, that includes the front rotors, rear rotors, front and back brake pads, and then also the tires all around. Those are the majority costs of the wear and tear items. Let me pull out my Excel sheet so I can give you an exact amount. As I said with the tire warranty, The front tires each are 260 bucks. The rear tires are 350 bucks. And without road hazard, these are out-of-pocket costs for me. And then I've had 3 sets so far of tires after 50,000 miles. So total in tires, I've paid 3,600 bucks in tires alone. I've gotten the rear rotors replaced, which was around 800 bucks. I had the front rotors replaced, which is about 1,500 bucks. And these are costs from Mercedes getting installed as well. So that does include the installation by Mercedes, and these are OEM parts as well. You know, in total with the rotors, I'm paying about 2,300 bucks in rotors so far. I probably won't have to replace them again in my ownership, so that's good. And then the brake pads. So I didn't go with OEM brake pads. I went with the Porterfield Race Carbon Kevlar set. That was a set of 4 for around 450 bucks. The best brake pads I have ever purchased for a car. These are not only have reduced brake dust by, you know, like probably 50 or 60%, they just perform a lot better and they don't squeal or squeak as my old brake pads used to. I hated that because my car sounded like a jalopy. So in total for wear and tear costs, I paid about $4,850 so far. Hopefully the summer tires that I've just bought brand new with barely any miles last until I sell the car. I really don't want to buy another set. But in total, we have the $4,850 in wear and tear costs, then the $4,500 in warranty costs. Things are adding up and my heart's already broken looking again at this Excel sheet. So the next dreaded cost item that I'm gonna go over is the elusive yellow slip from Mercedes. So service costs. So far, I've had to have 4 services done in total. That's service A, service B, service A2, and service B2. And again, these costs really depend on your Mercedes dealership, your relationship, and if you buy the pre-service package, it can save you, I think, about like $500 to $1,000. That's definitely something to consider if you're buying the car, is to buy a service package if you're gonna keep an AMG for a long time and a long amount of miles. For me, the service A was $250, service B was $600, service A2 was $300, and service B2 was $650. So in total, I paid 1,800 bucks in servicing for this car for 2 years, 50,000 miles. Now, it might not seem like a lot, but in 2 years, 1,800 bucks in service alone is a lot of money, and it adds up in the end, obviously, because like I said, we had the 4,800 in total wear and tear costs, 4,500 in warranty costs, and now we have 1,800 bucks in total for service costs. Again, the costs do vary based on what Mercedes dealership you go to. It doesn't like change exponentially, but it can be different depending on what Mercedes service center that you go to. So I suggest if you have a few service centers locally, call them up, see how much they charge for a service, and then obviously go with the cheaper one because you're gonna get the same good service in any Mercedes dealership. So it really doesn't matter. It's definitely better to save money on services so you can spend it more on tires because you're gonna run out driving this thing. So the next cost that we're gonna go over, I feel like makes sense for me to do inside the cabin. I just bought a brand new mount so I can mount my DSLR on my windshield. I think this will be a lot better than my GoPro because the GoPro just sucks in terms of quality and pretty much everything else. Let's get to the actual costs of fuel for this vehicle. So 50,000 miles is a lot of miles. This car typically gets around 300 to 350 miles in total for a full tank of gas. I've done the math. Let me pull up the chart. I've done the analysis on, excuse me for that pothole. So 50,000 miles, let's say annually I do about 25,000 miles just to split it down the middle. Mileage per full tank, like I said, 300 to 350. Sometimes I get lucky with 400. With my math, I just did the average, 350 miles for a full tank. Now, after doing the math annually, I do about 71.4 full gallons of tank per year. I've owned it for 2 years. You can multiply that by 2. And in terms of gas prices, it's hard to gauge exactly how much I paid for each gallon of gas with these past 2 years. I've filled up in many different states, many different cities, towns. Gas prices vary based on where you're at. So I just did kind of average in Pennsylvania is where I live. I did $3.50 per gallon to calculate this cost. So $3.50 times 71.4 times 2. In total, I come to about $8,000 in fuel costs, which is an insane amount for fuel costs. Just to drive this car is $8,000 within 2 years. That's a lot of gas and a lot of money, but really you're going to be ripping this car, so you're not going to get that many miles out of your tank. In total, you take the $8,000 in fuel costs, the about $4,500 in warranty costs, and then the $4,850 in wear and tear costs, and then also the service costs for $1,800, and then you come to the grand total of $19,000. That's a lot of money to be spending on just owning the car. You could have took that $19,000 and, for example, my car was $100,000 around roughly right out the gate. I could have bought a $120,000 car, but again, you have to pay for these things. These things aren't free. That's just part of the ownership of a sports car, especially daily driving a rear-wheel drive sports car like the AMG. It's going to cost a lot of money. Really coming in, I knew that it was going to be pretty costly to own this car for such an amount of miles to daily drive it. But in the end, I thought it was worth it. Why not? I love this car, so I did it. Now, is it worth it? Really depends on preference. You could buy a C63s and not just drive it as much as I did, and you won't have as much in cost. But again, it's just down to preference. I really wanted to make this video to help people who own this car to know kind of gauge what they're going to be spending and what they don't want to spend, which is $19,000. And this is to help people who are thinking about buying this car, just to get an idea of what it's going to cost to really own this car. I guarantee you most of the people who buy this car or own this car will not get near how much it costs me to own this car because of how many miles I've done and that I daily drive it. But again, this is a good gauge for people, kind of like a benchmark of what not to spend on an AMG. But I hope this video helps you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below if you guys enjoyed this video and what other videos you guys want to see on this channel. Thank you again for all the support. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the bell, ring the bell. You guys know what to do. And I'll see you guys on the next video.